In the beginning, governments promised protection, they promised stability, they promised that someone somewhere was in control, but history shows a different pattern. The most dangerous moments do not begin with invasion, they begin with silence. Tonight we explore what happens when governments know something the public does not, when secrecy is no longer temporary, when information itself becomes classified reality. Every modern government runs on secrets, military plans, economic vulnerabilities, cyber weaknesses, emergency protocols. Secrecy is justified as safety. But secrecy also creates distance, and distance creates fragility, because when trust breaks, collapse accelerates. Imagine a quiet discovery not announced, not debated, not voted on, a breakthrough that renders all digital security obsolete. Banking systems, military communications, nuclear command chains, personal identity, the public is not told. Because telling them would cause panic, markets would crash, supply chains would freeze, confidence would vanish overnight. So governments choose silence. Behind closed doors, emergency meetings begin, encryption, specialists confirm the worst. Every secret can be read. Every system can be accessed. Every assumption of control is now false. Temporary patches are deployed. Backdoor networks established. Offline redundancies activated publicly. Everything looks normal. Privately, the clock is ticking. This is how collapse begins, not with explosions, but with quiet improvisation. As weeks pass, governments start making unusual decisions. Transactions slow. New regulations appear without explanation. Internet traffic is rerouted. Communication platforms quietly restricted. People notice inconsistencies. Rumors spread. Trust erodes. Secrecy requires discipline, and humans are not disciplined under fear. A single leak appears. A document, a recording, a message that confirms something is wrong. Governments deny it, then minimize it, then contradict each other. That is the moment confidence breaks. Markets do not crash because of facts, they crash because of uncertainty. Citizens rush to withdraw money, supply chains falter, borders tighten, governments respond with emergency powers, not because they want control, but because they are losing it. Surveillance increases, movement is monitored, speech becomes suspicious. Officials say it is temporary. But every collapse in history began with temporary measures. The public divides. Some demand transparency, others demand order. Both sides lose faith in institutions. Military leadership realizes another truth. If secrets are compromised, deterrence no longer works. Power depends on uncertainty. Once intentions are readable, once systems are exposed, threats lose credibility. Rival nations know this. They probe quietly, testing limits, watching responses. No one wants open conflict, because open conflict would reveal how weak control has become, so pressure builds invisibly. Meanwhile, internal systems strain. Old infrastructure designed for trust now operates under suspicion. Human operators override automated systems, mistakes multiply. A single miscalculation triggers cascading failures, energy grids destabilize, transportation halts, food distribution slows, governments issue calm statements, but calm words cannot move trucks or restore power. Local authorities improvise, communities self-organize, central coordination weakens. This is the phase where collapse becomes decentralized, not one fall, but thousands of small failures. People stop waiting for instructions, they act locally, trade informally, protect families first. The state loses monopoly on legitimacy, not through rebellion, but through irrelevance. In response, governments release partial truths, they admit challenges, they promise reform, they offer timelines, but trust does not return once broken, it only fragments. Some regions comply, others resist, others disconnect entirely. Global systems fracture into local realities. History tells us something important here. Collapse is not the end of civilization, it is the end of coordination. Empires fall when they cannot synchronize belief and action. Secrecy accelerates collapse because it delays adaptation. By the time truth emerges, the system is already brittle. The most dangerous lie governments tell is not denial, it is reassurance, because reassurance prevents preparation. In past centuries, collapse took generations. Today, it can happen in months, not because people are weaker, but because systems are tighter, more optimized, less forgiving. A perfectly efficient system has no margin for truth arriving late. In the aftermath, governments that survive do so by changing fundamentally. They decentralize, they share authority, they rebuild legitimacy from transparency, those that do not fade quietly, replaced not by revolution but by alternatives. History does not punish secrecy immediately, it punishes it eventually. Every collapse scenario follows the same arc: a hidden truth, delayed disclosure, emergency control, loss of trust, fragmentation. The lesson is not that governments should reveal everything, it is that secrecy must be rare. Short-lived and accountable, because the greatest threat to stability is not chaos, it is a population that realizes too late it was never told the truth. And tonight, as systems grow more complex, as technologies advance faster than institutions, the distance between secret and survival shrinks. The future will not be decided by who has the most power, but by who tells the truth soon enough to adapt. If you want to understand the forces shaping collapse before they arrive, subscribe to AI History Unleashed, because the most important stories are the ones still hidden.